Hello guys, just want to do a 1 month update on this 40 breeder dirted tank. Set it up May 7th and yeah, today is June 7th, so it's been a month now, and so far it's doing really well. Just a quick overview. This is again a dirted tank. There is like an inch of organic soil. Some might appear here, so yeah, there's an inch of those, and then about 2 inches of just gravel that I bought from Lowe's. So yeah, it's been a month and I haven't really added any fish or shrimp, just the dependable pond snails or bladder snails, and they're doing really well. The plant growth is improving. It's really nice. The Ludwigia here, you know, having some robust. I've never seen Ludwigia grow like with like thicker stems and really nice looking leaves. I think a big factor would be the the dirt. I've had Ludwigia before, and it does grow well even in low light. It's just it doesn't look as robust or healthier than this one. This plant, I've had this. This is the first time I'm taking care of the red tiger lotus, and yeah, the leaves are just really red. I've got new growth. This guy's very prolific grower. I've been watching YouTubers experience with this plant, and basically same thing in the internet. The way describe it is it's pretty easy as long as you give them the correct conditions, which is in my case I don't even the temperature of my tank is like 75. I don't even check my water parameters, and it's doing really well. Just keep growing new leaves and they're really red. My plan with this one is I'm just gonna let maybe a couple of leaves get to the surface, get its required CO2, and let it grow faster. And then once really established, I'll be trimming it, so most of the leaves will be underwater. Then the water wisteria, the Hygrophila deformis, it actually has grown, but so every time a plant is transferred to a new tank, it goes through that. It doesn't really melt like cryptocorns, but it does go through like a stress period wherein the leaves doesn't look good. So I cut it up and I'm letting new leaves grow. So that's really nice. The Ludwigia, I'm no, sorry, Alternanthera rhynicia, I'm still surprised I don't have CO2 and it's still red. I'm not sure if it grew some new leaves in that month and in the last 4 weeks, and they're still red. So yeah, this is something to watch and update if it continues to produce red leaves. Right there is the Rotala indica. Again, this plant, if with CO2 really turns red. So far in my end it's not really red, but there's a tint of red on it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. It's mainly because I keep this Hygger light turned on for 12 hours, and I'll explain in a little bit. But yeah, this one is doing really well. I plan to add more in that area here, so it will keep growing and give that kelp, or yeah, ocean kelp look that I've been trying, or what I want to do. Next is this Cardamine lyrata. This is a new addition, maybe 2 weeks ago. I was looking for a Brazilian Pennyworth and I can't find any, and I was about to buy online. Then I saw this in one of the stores, so I decided I'll get this one. And then I thought this is the first time I'm taking care of Cardamine lyrata. However, when I checked my previous videos, especially the one when I was still in the Philippines, in my 15 gallons I had this. So my experience with this in the 15 gallons wasn't good. It looks nice, but when the water or the filtration is really strong, it keeps moving, gets tangled. When you do your water changes, same thing. So I'm kind of hesitant but to have this plant, but so far it stayed put in here. And even though the Seachem Tidal is at full power, I guess it's just the size of this tank is way bigger. That's why it just stays there, doesn't floor around, keeps its shape, starting to grow. Starting to grow new leaves and newer roots. So this is nice. This is a good sign. I really like this plant. Hope to get it to grow more. Next would be the Cryptocorn parva. So far, I got one plant, and I separated it in 4 plants. So that's the second, and that's the third, and the last is right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. It melted, and I think part of that reason that it melted is because I can find it. I can see it, but I can't get it to show in the camera because it's got one leaf left and it's very small. Let's see, where is the app? Oh, there we go. So yeah, just one small leaf there, right beside the that snail. So very small leaf, but I can see that it still has its crown, some roots. So I'm leaving it there because I'm pretty sure once they get established, they'll do good. Other thing is this cholla wood. I bought this at eBay, 6 pieces for like only $15 compared to the ones in PetSmart or Petco, and I'm supposed to use this on excuse me, I have allergies. Okay, so I was planning to use this on my orchids as a mount. However, I decided not to, and if ever I'm gonna repot my plants or transfer to a stick or a wood, I'd rather put it in a net pot. I think they'll grow better that way. Anyway, I use silicone, let it dry for 24-48 hours, and then I soaked it in a bucket for like nearly 2 weeks now, or no, more than a week, and now it's able to leach out some of its tannins, and then it's waterlogged now, so it's sinking. So far really good. I really like the black background, so I painted it black so I can really see how nice it is. I'll talk about like the lighting schedule. So this light is really great. It has a way to dim it. So in the morning it's at its full blast, full bright mode, and then at around 1 o'clock I will put it on like the second to the last or even the last setting for its light. Reason being is that I run this tank or this light for 12 hours, so I will follow the season. So in fall, when the sun or there's less daylight hours, then I will also do that on the on my lighting. The good thing again is it's very bright, but you can dim it. However, I've seen that if you use the its built-in timer, it doesn't really turn off completely. So at night it would still have like the blue LEDs turned on. It looks nice. I mean, I don't think it will draw a lot of power or electricity. However, with how expensive electricity is, and at the same time I'm not even looking at the tank, there's no point in wasting power for that. So I actually put it on just a simple Walmart timer, and it's on 12 hours, and again at around 1 o'clock I just dim it. And some of you may ask, why doesn't it dim automatically? I don't think it has that feature, but at the same time, when it turns off with the Walmart timer, and then turn on the following day, it will be on its brightest setting. There's no way it doesn't recognize that you change it the other day or the previous day. So that's fine. I don't mind going up here because I always watch my tank, so I don't mind going up here in the second floor and just change the brightness setting. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll just do a 1 month review of the Seacam Tidal 55. It's a full blast. If you can do it that way, but I do it full blast. It's perfect. More expensive than the Acqueon HOBs, or is it the Acqueon? I forgot. But the more famous or the more popular hang-on back filter is more expensive, but the game changer for this one is the submerged pump, and you don't need to prime it every time you stop the filter or do some cleaning. The only thing that you guys need to know about is if you have small fish or fry or shrimps, then you need to put a cover on its intakes, and it has 3 intakes. Okay, so the first one definitely, and just found in all filters, is this intake tube. I placed a pre-filter, however, since this is a dirted tank, some dirt is still like all over the place, so I brought it up a little bit so it can filter better before I add fish. So this is pretty common, just a pre-filter. But the other thing is, if you see the dial, this dial here, this round thing here, it does, I think, control the water going through the intake valve or intake tube. I don't know why it's there, because I can control the flow on what I showed you earlier. But I don't mind. It's another way to like modify how you need to use this filter, which is great. But basically, right beside that, this one right here for the 55 Tidal Seacam. Okay, I don't know. I think for the smaller one it doesn't have one, but I don't know. Yeah, right beside it is another intake, and it draws water in to be filtered. This one is pretty easy because this is actually the housing of the filter, so you can just take it off, put a small filter media just like the black one that I used on the intake tube. Sorry for the glare, I can't work it out. Anyway, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, okay, here. And so you take off the housing. So what I do with the pre-filters is it's kind of thick, so I have a scalpel and a cutter, and what I do basically is just cut it as thin as I can without like really making big holes on it. And that's what I use. I put it in there, shape it a little bit, and then return the housing so the actual pump will hold it in place, so that's not a problem. And last thing that I modified is this one. So there is a surface skimmer on this one, and it's really nice because it does help with cleaning the tank. However, again, if you have small fish, fry, and even shrimps, it will get sucked through here. And same thing with the snails. That's the other, I think that's the only negative I see for snails, is they get sucked into the filter and get the filter really filthy because they die there, they smell and all that stuff. So what I did with this one, it's all the way down the, yeah, I'm not sure if it's clear, but yeah, let's see. So it's all the way down here. As you can see, there are some leaves getting sucked through there. So I've seen a YouTuber, but she has like a 30-gallon filter and Seacam Tidal. So what she did was, there's a way to open it and put a filter in there. However, in this case, there's none. So I took off the pump housing, and there's like a big piece of plastic there, like a screen plastic, that I can't find a way to push it through to cover this. So what I did is I took off this filter, put the media literally in the tank so the bacteria won't die, and then really cut a very thin filter media, that black one, and then use silicone. Waited for a couple of days, and then when I'm sure it's already dry, then I return it in the water or in the tank. So those are the only things that I think you guys need to remember about when you get this filter if you have small fish or fry. But it's perfect. I really love this. It's very easy, made my life way easier. The other thing is, and this is just nitpicking, is this is a totally black filter, and since I have a black background, it's nearly invisible except for this like light blue. That one is the heater, the heater holder, which is really nice because they thought of it. That's what I'll use this heater holder eventually, and that tile. So they could, I guess next time maybe if they have like a version 2.0, if they can just do a really do black, and I think that will work better. But aside from that, this is a great filter. As you can see, it's doing a lot of filtration, lots of water flow there. But since this is a big tank, it's not bothering the other plants, which is great. And I can see one of the advantages of having a large tank. And I guess for some people this is not large, but this is the first large tank I had. Oh yeah, so did I talk about the cholla wood? So the cholla wood is in here. Again, I left it in a bucket for nearly 2 weeks, and let it leach out its tannins. But one thing that if there's something that I want to change, that is the those silicone, which is pretty obvious. Oh, and you can see the snails are loving it. I think they're eating through some of the wood. I know cholla doesn't last long as a Malaysian driftwood or the other driftwood, but it will work for the fish that I plan to add because they will really need hiding space. So I will let you guys know what that fish will be. But basically, my only regret would be I should have added small stones while I'm getting this, while the silicone is setting. So anyway, I still have 2 left, and I did another one last night, and I'm gonna let the silicone harden for a bit before I put it in a bucket in our bathroom and let it get waterlogged. But as you can see, the areas where there should be silicone, I use small rocks to get it silicone in there. So I should have done that before, but now this is way too wet that if I wait it to dry, it might float again. And yeah, so what else? So yeah, that's a quick update. I think online or YouTube, the internet, everyone when they search for like fish tanks planted or not, they always see these beautiful tanks, and they try to set up their own tanks, and they get frustrated because it's not looking good, the plants are dying. But it's a process. The only time I saw an aquascape that's really nice, that's done on the same day, are the ones that joins competitions in aquashell. I've seen a person literally set up a tank, and it's a really nice tank aquascape. However, it won't last long, I believe, unless they put like a lot of CO2 or anything, because they just literally built it. So it looks good because they literally just built it, and the plants, moss that they've used was already prepared. But just like for a regular hobbyist, it will take time, it will take patience. An example is the 5-gallon, which I waited for 5 months, I guess it was, yeah, 5 months before I actually added shrimp. For me, it's enjoying the plants and before adding fish, so there will be no deaths anymore or regrets. One thing I realized is that the more mature a tank is, the better. And one of the things that I'm able to keep the tank mature is these guys, the pond snails. So I feed them, they poop, they produce a lot of babies. They may not look nice for other people, but they do help in cycling the tank and keeping the tank stable. And now this tank is stable. No real issues with algae, of course, except for the ones growing on the glass. But if you think about it, it's running for 12 hours. Other people just for 6-8 hours. Even in my experience, 6-8 hours you'll have a serious algae problem. But the fact that the light is dimmable, that's a huge help. And of course, I have other ways to balance the tank. I'm using easy to grow plants, and that consumes a lot of the wastes that are produced by the pond snails. So yeah, again, I just want to show you, I mean, if you guys watched the first video about this dirty tank, it looks like crap. And it, for me, if you're a beginner or even a seasoned aquarist, you know it will always look crap at first unless you really spend on some expensive stuff. But if you're not in a hurry, just take your time. You know, the fish or whatever you plan to do won't go anywhere. It will always be there, of course, unless they're ultra rare fish. But take your time. In my case, this will be, today is the first month. I'll wait until the end of June before I actually add fish. That way I'll just let the plants grow. And I want to do more water changes in this tank. Since this is a dirty tank, you put plants, things get moved, and you'll see the sand, or not the sand, the dirt able to escape the gravel and keep the place dirty. So I'll do just those water changes. But overall, this is really good, and for me personally, at least, my opinion is it's really good because they're growing really well, and I'm excited to add the fish. Okay, so have I covered? Yeah, I've covered everything. Thank you for watching, and yeah, please hit and like and subscribe. Okay, bye.